For full disclosure, I actually heard about this earlier today, and I was chatting with Grums about it. So this didn't surprise me to see him post this, and I was already planning on covering it tonight. But since this is where it's public, I'll say I'm getting it from Grums here. But it was more of an anonymous source, we'll say, that provided this information to us. And my goodness, this is wild. DEI experts can't find jobs. Thousands laid off. Oh, it's delicious. You'll love to hear it. DEI experts lament lack of hiring and DEI retreat in major corporations. Not a retreat as in going on a vacation. Retreat as in it's leaving. They are losing and they aren't coming back. 2,600 laid off. 13% of positions closed. More than 9 months. And no new job openings for one DEI expert. That's because DEI experts was never actually a thing. So it's not like, oh, we overhired DEI experts. We need to wait for it to calm down to hire another one. It's like, no, it was never a thing in the first place. It never was. You can't finally have an opening show up if it was never a thing. It's finally, this is a sign of it going away. The woke mind virus is in decline, and they are feeling the pinch. But you can never let up. I've got zero sympathy for these parasitic positions that have cost so many jobs through an ideology that trashes products, promotes cancel culture and racism, and treats customers so poorly. And it found a home like a cockroach in the dark in a moist area under the fridge. That's where the video game area was. And they all gathered there. And once the light got turned on in the kitchen and they opened the fridge door, the cockroaches are like, oh shit. And then they have to clean the moist floor and get rid of all the spots where they were. There's no place for them to come back anymore. It's amazing. So this post comes to us from a post on LinkedIn, of course. And I have the full post here. And it comes from Andrew Barker on LinkedIn. And they say, it wasn't long ago that countless corporations were rushing to beef up their diversity, equity, and inclusion departments, only to subsequently beat a hasty public retreat just a few years later, which we were calling from day one. Whenever that BlackRock Vanguard started pulling the reins back on this stuff, the bottom would fall out. This was being sustained by something that was not natural. There were not natural forces at work for DEI. It was something that was injecting an ideology the entire time. And once that injection stopped, the bottom fell out and everyone lost their positions. The True North says, I have one last video. I will pay large. Have at it, bros. Send me the video. True North. This guy. Damn. But let me continue. I need to sip of my wine first. The sudden shift has left many professionals in a once thriving sector with dwindling and uncertain career prospects, NPR reports, which, oh, by the way, NPR was one of the very heavy hit DEI areas when this all started coming down. According to Revelio Labs, more than 2,600 DEI positions have vanished since 2023, with the cuts disproportionately affecting women and people of color. Maybe because they were disproportionately adding those people into a workforce where they didn't belong. Why do you say it in a way where it sounds bad? Like, what it's like, if you are a DEI hire and they remove you, then you are gone. Oh, you're a DEI hire? That makes you a person of color or woman? Yes, that literally was the DEI hire. What's the problem here? If you weren't qualified for the position of DEI professional, because that's not a real position, then yeah, you don't have a job anymore. Who's confused about this? For months and years, companies have been ending their DEI promises. So what happens to all the people they hired to do this work? Corporate America has eliminated 2,600 jobs in diversity since 2023, according to an exclusive new Review Labs analysis from NPR. That accounts for about 13% of DEI-related jobs that existed in early 2023. Wait, only 13%? So you're saying that there's 87% of DEI jobs are still existing? Sounds like there's work to do. At the peak of the post-2020 hiring boom, this widespread retreat is having a crushing professional impact on people like Candace. Oh, here we go. We got to make it, tug at your heartstrings, guys. We need to bring a real person. We need to bring someone who's got the saddest sob story out there. Let me guess. Is Candace a single mom with 2 kids and broken marriage and was a DEI hire, and now she lost her job and she's got nothing and nothing to fall back on? Let me guess. Is that the sob story? I have no idea. Let's see. A veteran diversity, not a veteran, sorry. They want to make sure they use that word to make it sound like a veteran. A veteran diversity executive who's been specializing in this kind of work since 2007. Some could say Candace was a pioneer in a cottage industry that shouldn't exist. She was laid off from her last employee last summer, and now, more than 9 months into her job search. It's been pretty tough, she told me in March. I just didn't think it would take this long. Won't any company hire me? What can you provide? I'm a people person. I do DEI stuff. Look, can you please just give me a paycheck? Over the last few months, Candace has shared with me some of what she's experienced while job hunting in this once booming profession, which she calls my heart's work. Yeah, because you can just sit on your ass, put your feet on the table, kick back, relax, and be like, yep, I can collect a paycheck now. Camelot Classic. Tell her to contact the Game and Geek Expo. They hire DEI professionals. Not wrong. I would argue, by the way, part of why she's still looking for a job is because she has so much experience that she's probably turning down positions that are like, sure, we'll hire you, but you're going to be making Burger King money, not even McDonald's money. You're making Burger King money here for DEI. It's that bad. And she's probably like, well, I'm used to making 6 figures. And they're probably like, yeah, we start at 35,000 for that here. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the Game and Geek Expo is, something around. It might not even be that. It's probably part-time, probably like 5 or 8 grand a year to just do the convention. And doing a convention, by the way, is a shit load of work. And they don't have time for DEI people unless they're just booting people from the conventions. Is that what the DEI hires do? Camelot would be like, yes, that's what they do. Serpentine Dainty, hire me. I know 18 genders. Darksis says, fries, bag. The grift is over. This is really crying here. Said, it's been pretty tough. I just didn't think it would take this long. Candace has shared with me some of what she's experienced while job hunting in this once booming profession, which she calls my heart's work. That's where we left off. We tell her story in this new feature for NPR with exclusive data from Revelio's Paulina Tilley about how widespread the DEI job retreat is. Fantastic graphics by my colleague, Connie Hanzig-Jing, and beautiful photos by Cornell Watson, commissioned by my colleague, Emily. I am also discussed my reporting today with A. Martinez on Morning Edition and Up First. Holy crap. If this doesn't read, this is why I can't deal with LinkedIn, because everything at LinkedIn it feels like a job interview. It feels like, hey, I am giving a review of this person. I'm promoting this person. I think this person needs a shout out. Everything is just promote and hire these people. It's so just gross. Like, what? Just because their name is there, just the referral itself, that's enough to hire people because they have quote unquote experience in the eyes of LinkedIn. This is how we got here in the first place. Let's see. Corporate America's retreat from DEI has eliminated thousands of jobs. 3-minute listen. Oh, God. Do we dare? Do we dare do this, guys?
Support for NPR and the following message come from SAP Concur. LaTora Jackson is the Senior Manager for Finance Projects at AtriCure, a healthcare company creating technologies that help treat atrial fibrillation. Click the play button to hear her conversation with Ryan Demray from SAP Concur and learn how SAP Concur solutions give AtriCure employees more time to give back to their community.
Corporate America is running.
I mean, real quick, who is the audience for LinkedIn? Like, legitimately, who goes to this and listens to that and is like, oh, okay, yeah. This is like very cult-like behavior from LinkedIn, which isn't surprising, being owned by Microsoft. Yet again, another company owned by Microsoft. Big shocker.
From diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, and also from the people hired to do this work.
This marks a sharp reversal from 5 years ago when the murder of George Floyd and the public outcry.
Oh my God, where's my bingo card? We got a George Floyd mention in the first 12 seconds. Shocker.
Followed sent companies racing to staff up.
Now, NPR is the first report on exactly how many of those jobs have been lost. NPR business correspondent Marie Aspen has the exclusive. Now, we've been hearing about companies ending their DEI policies for years now. What's new?
Right. Some of the biggest U.S.
I think the funniest part is they sound like jovial and excited about it. I'm like, all you unqualified losers are out of a job and you're like trying to be happy and positive about it. Like, yeah, oh yeah, this is happening and here it is. It's like you don't have a job anymore.
Biggest U.S. employers, Walmart, Target, Amazon, have announced that they're ending.
The funniest part about these DEI hires is they're trying to find a job and complaining about not having a job now. Oh, the irony.
Have announced that they're ending some DEI policies. And companies have been retreating for a few years now. Back in 2023, the Supreme Court overturned affirmative action. And that same summer, Bud Light faced a conservative backlash after it hired a transgender influencer for a marketing video. That all made companies start worrying about the legal and financial risks of talking about DEI. And then President Trump was reelected and issued executive orders against what he calls illegal DEI.
Oh, no, not that it is illegal. It's what President Trump calls illegal. Notice the verbiage there, the format, how they're just like, it's not illegal, but the president in power right now says it's illegal. So technically, I guess it is, but it shouldn't be.
Legal DEI. That increased the political risks. For example, just this month, we saw Verizon tell a federal agency that it would end many of its DEI policies.
By the way, I did see a story about that George Floyd. It wasn't a statue hit by lightning. It was a mural on the side of a brick wall that was apparently hit by lightning, which I don't know if I buy that, but maybe.
Policies right before the government approved a big $20 billion deal for Verizon. So for months, I've been covering this drumbeat of news about companies ending DEI, and I started wondering what that meant for all of the people affected, the people they hired to do this work.
So what'd you dig up?
The numbers are pretty bleak. More than 2,600 jobs in diversity or DEI have been eliminated.
I'm telling you guys straight up, I don't even believe this is people talking. This sounds like AI. It sounds like they're not even real people. Yeah, exactly. Holy crap. Okay. I'm not the only one saying that. AI. Is this AI? It's AI. Everyone had that same right at that point. I'm like, that like enthusiastic response was not natural at all. That is insane. They're not even doing their own story. It's just AI.
Have been eliminated in the last couple of years. That's more than 10% of the jobs that existed at the start of 2023.
No breathing or cough, says Virilis. That's how you know I'm not AI. I'm always breathing and coughing like the entire stream every night.
Now, these are numbers from a data analysis that a firm called Revelio Labs did exclusively for NPR. And it found that this was a dramatic change from 5 years ago. After George Floyd was murdered, there was this huge rush for companies to hire chief diversity officers. And
I'll be honest, they better be AI, because if this is how they talk in real life, oh my God. I would run away as fast as possible.
diversity officers and other people with experience in this kind of specialized field. But now these people are being reassigned or having their jobs renamed, or in some cases being laid off. So this is a really steep loss of a lot of jobs. And
All right, fair nightmare. This absolutely is how NPR always sounds. But I was just going to say, wait a second. How long has NPR been AI potentially? Because there's no coughing, hesitation, or messing up words ever, which is impressive. I don't care how professional you are. No one talks perfectly, ever.
a lot of jobs, and it's affecting thousands of people who are trained and experienced in this area.
What are these workers telling you about how this backlash affects them?
I mean, if they're not AI, they're literally reading from a script.
Backlash affects them.
It's been pretty hard. For this story, I spent a lot of time talking to Candace Byrdsong Williams. She was a top executive with almost 2 decades of experience in this field, doing things like creating mentorship programs.
I wonder if this person ever actually talked to Candace. I wonder if this person is even a person. I wonder if it's an AI program run by Microsoft that sent an email automated to Candace. Candace responded, the AI inputted it, and then it created a story all by itself and put this all together. Where this is not even written by a person. This had no human interaction whatsoever at all. And NPR just ran with it. I wouldn't be surprised.
To help underrepresented
And the funniest part about it is they're complaining about DEI people losing jobs while it's all AI taking it.
employees get more visibility and opportunities at the office. But she was laid off from her last company last summer, and she hasn't been able to find a new job. This is what Byrdsong Williams told me when I visited her at home in Raleigh this spring.
Oh, okay. So did a robot roll into the house?
This spring.
I was like, oh, I'll bounce back quickly. I've been in interviews and they're like, okay, we're no longer going to rehire we're no longer going to staff this role. And so that's when I knew this isn't the same environment that it was.
Hold on. Pause. Full stop. How are you in an interview with a company for a position? And in that interview, they're telling you they're not hiring for the position that they're interviewing you for. That can't happen. I've worked in recruiting. I know how job hiring works. You don't interview people for a job that doesn't exist.
Environment that it was years ago. And it's been pretty tough.
We tell a lot more of her story in a new digital feature that published today at npr.org. Now, Byrdsong Williams is just one person, of course, but now we know that there are thousands of people who have been living through this very changing and now very politicized job market.
That's NPR's Maria Aspen.
Hold up. Now very politicized job market. As if the DEI job market wasn't politicized? Oh, what? I can't with these people. Like, what the hell? What the hell? I just shared it in the chat if anyone wants the link to this story. The best part about it is the title is called npr.org and a bunch of numbers for the date, and then /DEI-jobs-Trump. is what they labeled it. There's so many issues that I have with this. It's not even funny, but at the same time, it's hysterical. And I couldn't help. Exactly. It's okay when we do it. It's a very highly politicized market getting rid of the DEI that definitely wasn't politicized getting them into a job in the first place. Totally not. Totally not. Oh man, good times. Nobody share your Rumble in the chat. Rumble needs 3 more. Nobody needs 3 more followers on Rumble. See, that's how you know I'm not AI. I keep fumbling over my words. They hate the working class so much. Yeah, it's true. Consolation says, I remember a former roommate listened to NPR most of the time, and I'd often hear the station asking for donations from listeners. Yep. My mom would listen to NPR all the time. Like every time I go home to like visit for a holiday and stuff, NPR is typically the station that's on at the house. And they're always like, if you enjoy our programming here, please consider gifting donations to this, that, and the other thing. It's tax donating that and the other thing. I'm like, who is supporting this? And isn't NPR originally, wasn't it sponsored by the government? Maybe that's why they hate Trump, because Trump's trying to take it away. Netflix for says my mom does that too. Our moms would probably get along pretty well, Netflix. Oh, man. Nobody says he needs 4 followers on Rumble. Head to Rumble. Give him a follow. Nobody's awesome. Play the clip. Are we the baddies? Oh, they used to be great, Netflix, back in the day, back when you could trust the media. That was definitely a different time for sure.